Chapter 41. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Could it be that the person in front of him can be on par with his own boss? Jiang Chen has never heard of a new silver-level strongman. Lu Qiangqiang suppressed his uneasiness and clasped his fists again. Excuse me, senior. We are from the Qinglong Army Branch Demon Hunting Brigade. This time we are here with a tracker to track down a fleeing monster, which is the human-faced moth in the deep pit under your feet. After saying that, Lu Chang looked at Jiang Chen with a hint of respect. There is no way the situation is stronger than the person. Now he doesn't know what the background of this dragon-headed strongman is, and his strength is so strong, and he is the existence of single-handedly defeating the human-faced moth. He can care about his own life, but he must be responsible for the lives of these brothers. Sensing that they were not lying, Jiang Chen put down his weapon, and after cancelling the transformation, he showed a self-proclaimed kind smile. So it's you, my brothers from the Army Demon Hunting Brigade. I admire you guys who are fighting on the front line. It was mostly a misunderstanding just now. The situation is special. My name is Jiang Chen. I'm just an ordinary high school student. I can't be called a senior. Seeing Jiang Chen's transformation, his body shrunk to that of a teenager. Everyone exclaimed that he was so young. When they heard Jiang Chen's words again, they were stunned. Jiang Chen. High school student. Dragon head and human body. You are the #1 prodigy in Qinglong, Jiang Chen, who is known as the Azure Dragon. Lu Chang also looked incredible at this time. Are all the teenagers nowadays so fierce? When he thought about calling a teenager who was only the age of his own son a senior, his old face suddenly blushed. It's over. How can he get along in front of his colleagues after this gets out? It's just an empty name, not worth mentioning, not worth mentioning. Jiang Chen waved his hand modestly, but there was no modesty on his face. You are a real hero, comrade Jiang Chen. You have eliminated such a great evil for Qinglong and directly avoided a large-scale disaster. Captain Lu Chang, the leader of the Qinglong Army Division's demon hunting team, expresses his sincere gratitude to you on behalf of the Qinglong Army Division. Lu Chang stepped forward and pointed at the monster in the deep pit, saluted and thanked Jiang Chen sincerely. Jiang Chen waved his hand. It was just a small favor. Captain Lu Chang, what is the origin of this monster? It seems to be slightly different from ordinary monsters. Jiang Chen asked Lu Chang for information. Well, it's a long story. This monster was originally just a slightly stronger bronze-level monster, named Flying Moth. It has been in the Army's tracking files. You may not know that when a powerful monster appears around the city, the Army branches in various places will generally record it in case of emergency. Just a month ago, this flying moth was defeated in a battle for territory with another bronze-level monster, the evil winged tiger. In order to avoid being hunted down by the evil tiger, it actually escaped into the fog and disappeared since then. Until recently, it suddenly reappeared. I don't know how it has become what it is now. It is neither dead nor alive. Not only has it lost consciousness, it has also become a monster with a human face and a moth body. Hearing this, Jiang Chen understood. He had heard that the fog was turbulent and strange. It actually turned a bronze-level monster with a bright future in the wild into its current appearance. Then may I ask, Comrade Captain, how did this strange monster break through the front line and enter the city? Jiang Chen directly hit the core doubts. Lu Chang hesitated, his eyebrows twisted together, as if he was poked in a sore spot, and it was a bit difficult to speak. The heroic and young female demon hunting team member next to him seemed to be Lu Chang's deputy. She frowned and said angrily with a righteous face. It's all the fault of those guys in the supervisory department. It obviously cost a huge price to capture this human face, but the monster escaped because the supervisory staff drank alcohol. It's funny to tell others. Supervision department? What a coincidence. Jiang Chen secretly complained in his heart. Hee. Okay, Duan Wei. The army and the supervisory department are all colleagues, so don't say a few words. Family disgrace should not be made public. Lu Chang kept blinking his eyes hoping to shut up Duan Wei's chattering mouth. What are you afraid of? Captain, you give them face to the supervisory department, I won't buy their account. That after saying that, the pretty girl named Duan Wei turned her head and looked at Jiang Chen. You are Jiang Chen, I have heard of your name for a long time. I am also a student from Qinglong No. 1 Middle School, 4 years older than you. Logically, I am still your senior, Jiang Chen, you are so powerful, why don't you come to our army? Our army is in need of a gifted person like you. Duan Wei looked at Jiang Chen excitedly. Haha, I admire your army's spirit of defending the country, but, everyone has their own ambitions. I, Jiang Chen, am used to being casual and like to be alone. Jiang Chen smiled faintly and declined politely, what a joke, a real man lives between heaven and earth, how can he be depressed and live under others for a long time? Duan Wei frowned slightly and spoke with a questioning tone unconsciously. Student Jiang Chen. Now the world is full of demons and evil spirits. As the saying goes, the greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. You are so powerful, how can you be indifferent? How can a passionate man not want to serve the country? This set of combos made Jiang Chen confused. Without answering her words, Jiang Chen looked uneasy and his voice suddenly became impatient. Why, now this demon has been beaten into a pile of mud by me, it's late at night, you should go back early and do what you need to do. You. Duan Wei was about to speak, but was pulled behind by Lu Chang. Brother Jiang Chen, I'm so sorry. I'm a few years older than you and I called you brother. I'm not restrained in my words. If I offended you, I'll wait for her to apologize to you. Haha. Lu Chang looked at Jiang Chen with an apologetic look on his face, and was also very annoyed in his heart. Duan Wei was good at everything, hated evil and was upright and kind, but she was too impulsive. How could she interfere with other people's future choices? Jiang Chen waved his hand, indicating that he didn't care. Seeing that Duan Wei seemed to be still not distracted, Lu Chang quickly changed the subject. Brother Jiang, since this monster was defeated by you, it should belong to you. However, the original mission of my demon hunting team is to capture this monster. Brother Jiang, why don't you name a price, and we can buy this monster? Jiang Chen looked at Lu Chang and couldn't help but look up to him in his heart. He was righteous and flexible, and his words sounded much more pleasant. She was much better than the rough girl next to her. No wonder she could be the captain. Captain Lu, you are polite. Speaking of which, I have to thank you for revealing the news of this monster. This monster appeared inexplicably near my home, and I was worried for a long time. You can take this monster if you want. Jiang Chen paused, then continued, but I want to correct you, I haven't subdued this monster yet. Before he finished speaking, as if responding to Jiang Chen's words, the flesh and blood of the monster in the deep pit seemed to be pulled in mid-air and condensed into a cocoon shape. The second round begins. Jiang Chen muttered to himself. Chapter 42. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You are welcome. Jiang Chen walked aside and left the stage to Lu Chang and the others. What is going on? Lu Chang frowned, and the faces of the demon hunting team changed. At this time, the silkworm pupa condensed with flesh and blood trembled slightly, as if brewing some terrifying existence. We must not let it continue to develop. Destroy it. With Lu Chang's order, the demon hunting team raised their guns in unison, and fierce gunfire poured down for a while. One person picked up the Gatling gun with blue flames, and the bullet shells fell to the ground like they were free. Duan Wei's slender and upright body held up the jet that was bigger than her, and a hot high-temperature flame kept roasting the flesh and blood silkworm pupa. From time to time, someone bit the fuse with his mouth and threw a grenade right into the silkworm pupa, and for a while, the deafening explosion sounded throughout the wilderness. The powerful firepower suppression was fully demonstrated by them. So fierce. Don't the demon hunting teams on TV usually fight monsters in close combat with real weapons? Jiang Chen's eyes widened in disbelief. Ha, brother Jiang, times have changed. You have guns but don't use them. Fighting in close combat with cold weapons is simply crazy, Lu Chang explained to Jiang Chen, thanks to brother Jiang for leading this monster to the suburbs, otherwise if it was in the downtown area, I'm afraid we would have to fight in close combat. How is it, lively, like the new year? Jiang Chen quietly walked away from Lu Chang. He always felt that these people's brain circuits were a little wrong. After a burst of gunpowder, the pungent smell of gunpowder filled the surroundings, and Jiang Chen couldn't help but sneeze. Is it done? At this time, the people in the demon hunting team were nervous. After all, the opponent was a bronze-level monster and a mutant. They couldn't help but cheer up. Suddenly, Jiang Chen and Lu Chang's faces froze. As expected, a simple shell probably can't cause much damage to it. In the center of the artillery fire, the smoke gradually dissipated. As expected, according to the law of smoke without injury, the blood cocoon had already broken open at this moment, and the monster had changed a lot at this time, with a hideous and slender body, exposed black bone spurs all over the body, and only half of the head was left. With a creepy pale eyeball that kept turning. 2 bloody bone wings tore open the back and stretched out. The wingspan can be up to 2 or 3 meters long. The human-faced moth that emerged from the cocoon is now more like a humanoid monster. Only the skeleton was left, and the legs with residual flesh and blood were slightly bent. It suddenly jumped and rushed into the air in an instant, rolling up a fierce airflow that made people unable to open their eyes. Not good. Lu Chang took out a short knife full of technology from his back. Just as Jiang Chen wanted to complain about such a short knife, you want to trim the monster's nails, Lu Chang flicked the handle of the knife lightly, and the short knife instantly spread out. A handsome long knife exuded a gilded light, almost blinding Jiang Chen's titanium dog eyes. Lu Chang turned his head. Brother Jiang, I'll ask you to take care of these teammates of mine. Captain. Brother Lu. No, we will accompany you to deal with it. We are brothers for life. The team members were reluctant to leave when they heard this and stepped forward to dissuade him. Go away. That monster is not simple. You will only hold me back if you go. Staying near brother Jiang can guarantee safety. After saying that, without waiting for everyone to speak, Lu Chang suddenly spread 2 feather-like wings from his back and flew into the sky to confront the monster from a distance. It turns out that Lu Chang is the user of the falcon form of the bird fruit. Hey, I don't think I agreed. What a self-willed guy. Jiang Chen was a little speechless, watching the 2 figures in the sky, one black and one white, fighting each other frantically. Jiang Chen quietly waited for the opportunity. From the previous confrontation, Jiang Chen knew that it would take quite a long time to slowly kill this monster with conventional means. The remaining demon hunting team members were anxious at this time. Jiang Chen, aren't you going to help? Duan Wei's tone began to soften at this time, with a pleading tone in her voice. The strong are enjoying the fight, how can I interfere with them? Jiang Chen looked up at the 2 figures in the sky, and after a long time, he perfunctorily said that he actually just wanted Lu Chang to reduce the monster's blood volume more, so that he could take over the battle more easily. Jiang Chen guessed that there must be some kind of energy source in the monster's body to replenish the vitality that was constantly flowing away, with his eyes open to a high-dimensional perspective. Jiang Chen carefully observed the energy flow in the bodies of both sides of the battle. Bullshit, what's the point of talking about fairness with monsters? If there are conditions, we should attack them in groups. I think you bastard, clearly want to sit on the mountain and watch the fight. Looking at Jiang Chen who was motionless, Duan Wei's face turned red with anger. The surrounding team members looked like they had seen a ghost. Looking at Duan Wei in the same way, this young lady has always maintained a heroic and elegant personality since she came to their team. Unexpectedly, Jiang Chen broke her defense today. This senior sister must have an extraordinary background. She does whatever she wants and has no taboos. Hasn't anyone taught you to see through it but not say it? That's right, I just sit on the mountain and watch the tigers fight. Jiang Chen glanced at the furious Duan Wei, and simply did not deny it, directly blocking Duan Wei's next words. You. Hearing Jiang Chen's straightforward admission, Duan Wei was not feeling well. She thought Jiang Chen would quibble, and she was also preparing to deny and slap Jiang Chen in the face, but she didn't expect Jiang Chen to play by the rules. Duan Wei had never suffered such grievances since she was a child. Her eyes suddenly turned red and she took a breath. As the daughter of the strongest man in Qinglong, Duan Wei had always been smooth sailing since she was a child. Instinctively, she wanted to continue to argue, but when she thought of her uncle Lu Chang, who had always taken care of her and was facing the terrifying and strange monster alone, she reorganized her words. Jiang Chen, I want to apologize to you. My tone was too aggressive before. I hope you can be magnanimous. If you are still not satisfied, you can beat me or punish me afterwards. I will never frown. Please, go and help Captain Lu. Duan Wei lowered her head, her tone was humble. This was the first time in her life that she had begged someone so humbly. It's ridiculous. Since you know that this monster is powerful, I don't quite understand why only you, who are all black iron, dare to boast and arrest the monster under the leadership of a bronze master. Jiang Chen looked puzzled. This. Duan Wei was also speechless at this time, but still gave an explanation. This monster has been captured once before. The military believes that it has been defeated and seriously injured. Naturally, we were sent to capture it. Besides, we are already one of the strongest lineups in the demon hunting brigade. If it is any worse, we will have to start a joint hunting and invite masters from other major forces to encircle and suppress it. I understand. Don't worry. When it comes to the critical moment, it doesn't matter. I will take action. Chapter 43. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Above the sky, Lu Chang's sword flashed fiercely. Every move and every style could take away a large piece of flesh and blood from the human-faced moth. And the monster, as if tireless and painless, attacked swiftly and savagely, hitting Lu Chang back again and again. Trouble, that this monster did not dodge or evade the attack, which made Lu Chang have no idea where to start. After thinking for a moment, Lu Chang flew back and pulled away, and kicked from high above to accumulate power, hitting the monster's neck directly. With a crisp sound, the monster's neck broke. His left hand flipped up and down, and a claw knife came out of his sleeve. He took advantage of the reverse grip and slashed hard with the powerful reverse impact when kicking. He actually cut off the monster's head directly. Did we win? The people of the demon hunting team on the ground cheered and jumped for joy, and were very excited. Beautiful. Jiang Chen remained silent, secretly praising Lu Chang's amazing skills in his heart. He is a master of physical skills. Real physical skills are never as simple as simply knowing various martial arts skills. The grasp of timing in battle is more important to test the strength of a person's physical skills. This is a power that can only be mastered after countless actual combats. When fighting against others, it is often just an ordinary move that can exert deadly power. It seems that blindly pursuing the gorgeousness of data is still not advisable. At this time, Lu Chang watched the headless monster fall straight from the sky and smash a large hole in the ground, but there was no joy on his face. The monster staggered to his feet, and the head rolled back to the side of the body automatically. The sharp bone claws grabbed the head and automatically merged with it. The whole palm of the monster was replaced by the hideous head. The sharp teeth kept biting in the air. The pale head suddenly turned in the direction of Lu Chang, and then the monster instantly sprinted close to Lu Chang, waved his arm, and the head opened its bloody mouth and bit Lu Chang. Seeing that Lu Chang couldn't dodge in time, he knelt down to avoid the attack, and at the same time, he raised his knife and knelt up to slash diagonally, directly slashing at the monster's shoulder joint. But it was stuck directly. Not good. Lu Chang was about to abandon the knife, but the monster closed his hands and held him tightly. Lu Chang struggled hard, but it was difficult to break free for a while. Seeing that the monster's bloody mouth was about to bite his head directly, Lu Chang was desperate and was about to pull the grenade on his waist, wanting to die together. At the critical moment, a bullet hit the monster's forehead directly, and blood splattered. Lu Chang also took the opportunity to pull out, but his chest was also scratched by the claws with a deep wound. It was Duan Wei holding a sniper rifle who saved Lu Chang at the critical moment. At this time, Duan Wei's face was covered with fine beads of sweat because of excessive concentration. There seemed to be poison on the claws. Lu Chang gasped and his face began to turn unnaturally pale. Looking at the poison spreading in his chest, Lu Chang gritted his teeth and took out the dagger to cut open a large piece of infected flesh along the wound again. Then he took out the bullet and took out the gunpowder powder and sprinkled it in the wound. The sparks from the friction between the claw knife and the dagger ignited the gunpowder, and hot and bright sparks gushed out from the wound. The severe pain almost put him into shock. Beads of sweat fell like rain. If it weren't for the strong physical bonus brought by the animal system ability and his own strong willpower, I'm afraid I would really die of pain. I'm too arrogant. I'm afraid I can't take this thing alone. No, I can't fall here. Lu Chang wiped the sweat from his eyes and was about to prop himself up to continue confronting the monster. Suddenly, a broad palm appeared with great power and firmly pressed Lu Chang, who was about to get up. That's enough, Captain Lu Chang. You have tried your best. Your character has earned my respect. Go and rest and heal your wounds. Jiang Chen came to his side without knowing when, and his gentle words rang in his ears at the critical moment like the sound of nature. Those who carry firewood for the public should not be allowed to die in the cold winter. Jiang Chen gave up his previous plan to watch the fire from the other side of the river and decided to save this man. There was no reason, just a trace of pity in his heart. Lu Chang looked up at Jiang Chen. Hearing the praise from this man who was only the same age as his son, his body did not feel ashamed, but instead inexplicably gave rise to a sense of pride. Then, please, after watching Lu Chang leave the center of the battlefield, Jiang Chen looked at the monster. The human-faced moth actually wanted to continue chasing Lu Chang. That won't do. If you catch me, I'll be so embarrassed. Dragon scales appeared on Jiang Chen's palms, and dark domineering aura wrapped around them. He dodged and grabbed the monster's thigh skeleton, swung it, and threw it over his shoulder to the ground, smashing many trees along the way. The monster howled for the first time. So strong, that the demon hunters who were bandaging Lu Chang's wounds were all stunned by the shock. Is this the strength of the strongest genius in Qinglong? I heard that Jiang Chen is still black iron. This strength is too exaggerated. Duan Wei was depressed. Why can't such a genius join the army? Obviously, she was still upset about Jiang Chen's refusal to join the army. Father often said that the world is bustling for profit, and the world is bustling for profit. Could it be that I didn't give him enough benefits? Duan Wei fell into deep thought. Jiang Chen sensed the monster's wailing, looked at his dark palm wrapped in domineering, and thought for a while. He could clearly sense that the monster's breath had weakened a lot. Is it because of domineering? In order to verify the conjecture, Jiang Chen continued to use his domineering fists to beat the monster fiercely. The monster clearly caught all of Jiang Chen's punches, but his body was still constantly suffering invisible damage. This is domineering, the invisible and overwhelming power from the mind, will and momentum. The rumors are really true. Qinglong Jiang Chen has mastered the domineering power. Lu Chang took a breath, and as the wound was affected, he couldn't help but take a second breath, and then a third breath. Duan Wei couldn't bear it anymore and stuffed the healing bandage into Lu Chang's mouth. Enough. Stop sucking. Wu domineering power, the whole huge Qinglong, even Minister Duan Tianya has never mastered the power. Even if his mouth was blocked, Lu Chang still wanted to complain. Jiang Chen took out the 8 fasts at this time, and the thick thunder wrapped around the mace crackled, and the dark domineering power spread and covered the entire shaft. Swinging with one hand, a swift and sweeping blow hit the monster's waist. Enhanced Thunder Bagua. That's right, the difference between the enhanced version of Thunder Bagua and the ordinary Thunder Bagua is that Jiang Chen swings it harder. The iron rod wrapped with domineering and thunder roared like a sonic boom and directly smashed the upper body of the monster. Ignoring the shattered upper body of the monster, Jiang Chen stared at the relatively intact lower body of the monster. Yes, in Jiang Chen's perception, the whole body of the monster seemed to have a source of power, which came from the root of its thigh. I'm not going to smash it. Chapter 44. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The monster, with only half of its body left, was still struggling to crawl, and countless flesh and blood flowed towards the monster like a trickle. Monster. I have seen through everything. After saying that, Jiang Chen was holding the mace, and he smashed it between the monster's legs with a domineering attack like pounding garlic. The monster's legs kept shaking like a spasm. If you meet me, you will suffer. For a while, wind and thunder surged, and the earth was cracked. Every time it was pounded, the terrifying thunder snake raged, and the fierce air wave rolled back and hit all directions. Lu Chang and others not far away couldn't help swallowing their saliva, and several team members felt a chill in their lower body and unconsciously covered their crotch. It was too cruel. Haha, this little brother Jiang really has a special hobby. Lu Chang laughed dryly a few times, trying to liven up the atmosphere. As Jiang Chen's strength became stronger, the monster's breath became weaker. As the last stick fell. Ding! Congratulations to the host for killing the fog monster moth for the first time. The talent multidimensional deprivation is activated, heroic proficiency points plus 10, the host can freely distribute. Heroic, since obtaining multidimensional deprivation, it is either the basic 6-dimensional attribute bonus or the physical skill proficiency bonus. Today is the first time to get a domineering reward. Is it because of the word fog? Jiang Chen thought secretly, raising his hand to pick up the bloody wolf tooth iron rod. The body of the monster under him seemed to lose vitality instantly. In just a few seconds, it turned from fresh flesh and blood to rotten and smelly, and then turned into ashes. Jiang Chen shook the mace with a little disgust, and sprayed a breath of fire on the 8 fasts to disinfect it. Sorry, it seems that you can't take this monster to hand in. Jiang Chen looked at Lu Chang and said casually. No way, brother Jiang, we still have to thank you for saving our lives. Besides, it's a different era now. Lu Chang pointed to a display on his chest. Yes, the law enforcement recorder has recorded it. The matter was over, and Lu Chang and others did not hesitate to leave immediately. Jiang Chen, can you please leave your home address and contact information? Don't get me wrong, we just want to make it easier for you to apply for the reward later. Before leaving, Duan Wei turned to ask Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen waved his hand and left without looking back. If you have anything, go to the Qinglong No. 1 Middle School Student Union to find me. Damn! This man is so arrogant. Duan Wei bit her fangs and said angrily. Ha ha ha, okay, Xiao Wei, he is a genius, and it is normal for geniuses to be arrogant. If I had his extraordinary talent, I would want to show off every day. Lu Chang smiled and comforted Duan Wei. Tsk, birds of a feather. Duan Wei rolled her eyes at him and left angrily. Hey, Xiao Wei, I was kind enough to comfort you, why are you cursing? What are you talking about, Captain Lu? You are only seriously injured, but you are not dead. Sister Duan is mentally traumatized. The demon hunters beside him also joked. After cleaning up the battlefield. The group left in a mighty manner. In the quiet and peaceful night of the city, there are countless unknown heroes like them who silently guard this land in the dark. Jiang Chen quietly returned home and saw his parents and younger sister still sleeping, so he carefully closed the window. Everything seemed to have never happened. Back in the bedroom, Jiang Chen opened the system panel and prepared to check the sign-in and the gains from the battles in the past. Few days. Name, Jiang Chen. Race, human. Level, black iron. Basic attributes, strength, 915. Speed, 712. Defense, 765. Life, 810. Energy, 901. Spirit, 800. Life recovery, 1 point of life per second. Devil fruit, fish fruit fantasy beast blue dragon form, fruit development degree 10%. Armament hockey, primary, 0/1000. Observation hockey, primary, 0/1000. Overlord hockey, primary, 0/1000. Influence by superdimensional god body heaven equals the influence of the gift can convert the god attribute into the total amount of domineering. Physical skills, shaving, intermediate, 50/1000, iron block, intermediate, 600/1000, paper drawing, intermediate. 300 out of 1000, moon step, intermediate, 0/1000, missed kick, intermediate, 40 to 1000, gun finger, advanced, 400 out of 1000, basic stick method, intermediate, 650/1000, allocated domineering points, 10. Well, it's a so-so. All aspects have increased a little bit. This mosquito is still meat no matter how small it is. Jiang Chen curled his lips. Regarding the allocation of domineering, he wanted to specialize in one aspect first, at least to make one of the three colors of domineering have a clear highlight. The advantages. Comprehensive means being broad but not specialized. Jiang Chen fell into deep thought about which of the three colors of domineering to choose as a breakthrough. After thinking about it, combined with his own situation, his physique is now close to the limit of black iron, with a strong physique, and he also has the strongest animal-type devil fruit, and his physical skills are far superior to his peers. In terms of attack and defense, it is enough. And improving the armed color domineering is just icing on the cake. As for the domineering color, domineering, unless it reaches a very high level, it can only clear some miscellaneous soldiers. It is still a long way to go to achieve the late-stage divine skill domineering entanglement, not to mention the above-mentioned sight and hearing killing. Now it seems that only the sight and hearing domineering is most suitable for me, which helps me the most. It can make people's five senses become sharp, strongly perceive the breath of surrounding creatures, and the domineering of emotional changes can also be used to predict and avoid danger. Whether it is perception or dodge, it is what I need most at present. Jiang Chen invested the 10 domineering points he had finally obtained into the sight and hearing domineering. Suddenly, his body trembled, and Jiang Chen exhaled deeply with his eyes closed. Well, I didn't feel anything. 10 points of progress didn't even make a wave. His current level of observation hockey is only elementary, which can simply sense the enemy's breath and simply capture the attack trajectory of others. This is a power that can only be exerted when he must remain calm. With his current progress, he still has a long way to go to reach the intermediate level of observation hockey, which can passively sense the breath of others at a long distance but cannot expand the range. Not only is it not small, there are still 990 points of progress. It's not known when it will take to reach the legendary realm of predicting the future. Jiang Chen was extremely unhappy when he thought of this, predicting the future. Who in the family understands this feeling of guarding a treasure mountain in vain? He suppressed his wild imagination and planned to go to the student union tomorrow to listen to the information collected by Qinglong and others in the past few days. Jiang Chen was very sure that this matter was 100% related to Haosei. Jiang Chen didn't intend to understand the real situation. Evidence. It doesn't matter. After all, a list is enough to kill someone. If it weren't for the fact that he couldn't afford the silver monster, Jiang Chen would have no doubt that the Hao family could put the entire silver level at his doorstep. Chapter 45. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, Jiang Chen came to school early. At this stage, Jiang Chen is the overlord in school. Asking for leave. Skipping classes. Even the teacher dare not control him. At this time, Jiang Chen was plotting with Gu Qinglong, Qinglong and other core members of the student union. Brother, after our investigation for several days, this Haosei has been lingering in the club every day since you taught him a lesson. The brothers who followed us envy him. He is always accompanied by bodyguards when he travels. It seems difficult to attack him. Qinglong rubbed his hands and reported to Jiang Chen. Well, since there is no opportunity, there is no need to stare at him. There will be plenty of opportunities in the future. What about the other people in the Hao family? Jiang Chen casually patted a broad bean and it fell into his mouth. Gu Qinglong adjusted her glasses and spoke in a clear voice like an oriole. President, according to the information revealed by the son-in-law of the second uncle of a student union student in the supervision department at the wine table, due to the recent tense situation on the front line of the monster riot, Hao Nyobi, director of the Minghua District Supervision Office, was ordered to lead his subordinates to support the front line in the near future. Gu Qinglong told the information she had obtained in the past few days. Very good, isn't this opportunity here? Jiang Chen raised his eyebrows. Xiao Cheng, I'm not saying anything bad about you, learn more from Qingying, and you will be more efficient. Qingdongqing's face suddenly fell, and Jiang Chen changed the subject again. You have all been my trusted partners since I led the student union and dominated Qinqing No. 1 middle school. What I am going to do now may be quite risky for you, you are free to stay or leave. I will not let you down if you are willing to follow me, Jiang Chen, and I will not force you if you are unwilling. We will still be brothers when we meet again in the future. Big brother. President. That's not right. Big brother is a man of great talent and unparalleled talent. He will definitely be the overlord in the future. If I follow Big brother, I will be hungry for 3 days. What I mean is that if I follow Big brother, you will definitely have a good time. Qingdongqing was talking nonsense again. President. We are brothers in our hearts. It is our honor to follow the president's footsteps. Hearing this, everyone present expressed their loyalty and vowed to advance and retreat with Jiang Chen. Okay. Qingdongqing's nonsense was automatically omitted. Jiang Chen looked at his subordinates, Gu Qinying, Lu Xiaobu, Zhang Wei, Ren Qianqing and others, and was very pleased. He finally had his own team in this world. The Hao family, I want to get rid of them as soon as possible. Since Hao Nyobi is going to lead the team to support the front line, he deserves to be buried in the wilderness. Zhang Wei, I need your imitation fruit to show its ability and appear in the public eye on my behalf. During this period, you must respect Zhang Wei as much as you respect me. Understand? Everyone was stunned, and then suddenly realized that the president was going to sneak out of the city and kill Hao Nyobi alone. Got the order? Everyone echoed. Jiang Chen clenched his fist with one hand, and his expression was obscure. Just as he was thinking, a ding-ling-ling phone rang. As an assistant, Gu Qinying naturally picked up the phone, and after a long time, she hung up. President, Mr. Zhang from the school's guard room called and said that the people from the Qinqing Army Division are coming to see you under the leadership of the school leaders. It seems that they are here to commend you, Gu Qinying said uncertainly. I know. You can leave first. Jiang Chen waved his hand. Grandpa Situ, I haven't seen you for a long time. How are you? Duan Wei held the arm of Situ Liancheng, the principal of No. 1 middle school, and asked with concern. Lu Chang and others were beside him. I'm old. Xiao Wei, is what you said before true? Jiang Chen single-handedly solved the misted bronze-level monster. Although I can't believe it, it's the fact. I came here today to commend him and try to recruit him into the army. Although Situ Liancheng is old, he is still strong and upright, with a clean-shaven beard, neatly combed silver-white hair, and a straight and well-fitting suit. As for Jiang Chen, it's not easy to recruit him. You've been rejected once. A genius like him has a strong character that can't be changed by just a few words. Lu Chang, who had a bandage on his chest, said at this time, after reporting this matter yesterday, the branch held a meeting overnight and unanimously agreed that Jiang Chen's strength has reached the ranks of the top powerhouses in Qinqing, and decided to invite him according to the highest talent recruitment conditions. After saying this, Lu Chang couldn't help but show envy. The army has a special talent introduction plan. For real geniuses, once they join the army, they will be directly awarded the highest rank of captain. Directly skip the ranks of private, corporal, second lieutenant, and lieutenant, which are difficult for many people to achieve. Road. You know, Lu Chang has been fighting for half his life, but he is only a captain. Even Duan Tianya is only a major, one level higher than the captain. In other words, as long as Jiang Chen is willing to join the army, he will directly become a captain officer on par with Lu Chang. With his powerful strength that surpasses everyone else, he will be a strong competitor for the strongest person in the Qinqing army branch under Duan Tianya. That being said, it is quite tempting. But Jiang Chen's strength is worthy of this honor. As the military pushed open Jiang Chen's president's office, the real Azure Dragon, who has been circulating many legends, finally appeared in front of the public. After a few words of greeting with everyone, Lu Chang stepped forward and spoke. Comrade Jiang Chen, first of all, thank you for fighting against the demons and protecting the people of Qinglong yesterday. This is the 1 million Bailey bonus given by our military, and this special medal of heroism is made of pure gold. Reaching out to take the check and the pure gold medal, Jiang Chen smiled and said, Captain Lu is really dedicated to his duties. He was injured in the battle at night and came out to work during the day. Feeling Jiang Chen's teasing, Lu Chang smiled and waved his hands. No way, this man can't sit still. Then the two chatted. Duan Wei, who was standing aside, couldn't help coughing when she saw the two people chatting more and more heatedly. Ahem, Jiang Chen, this time, in addition to giving rewards, there are two other important things. Jiang Chen stopped when he heard it. Oh, Miss Duan, do you have anything else to do? That's right, Jiang Chen, on behalf of the military, I now formally invite you to join our army. I seem to have said my opinion last night. Jiang Chen smiled faintly, but this time Duan Wei smiled with an extremely confident smile and spoke again. That's right, you refused last night, but this time we have the best offer for you. As long as you join the army, you will be directly awarded the rank of captain. You should know that my father, our minister Duan, is only a major, one rank higher than this captain. And your promotion in the future will be very fast. The military will spare no effort to train you. As long as you can show your value, you may even be qualified as a candidate for general in the future. Duan Wei believes that this condition is already very tempting, even she is tempted. Jiang Chen. I don't believe you are not tempted. I refuse. Jiang Chen's cold voice sounded again. Duan Wei and everyone else looked incredulous. Why? I have said it before, a real man lives between heaven and earth. How can he be depressed and live under others for a long time? I am used to being casual and can't stand being restrained. Chapter 46. You are listening at novelfull.audio. But Duan Wei's face turned pale, and she wanted to keep him. God knows she was full of confidence when she came. Lu Chang stepped forward silently, pulled Duan Wei's sleeve and shook his head at her. Recruiting talents is a matter of mutual consent. In this case, Brother Jiang, I won't force you, but our army's promise to you will always be valid. No need to do so. I have great respect for your contribution to the people. Jiang Chen said with a full smile. Hearing Jiang Chen's refusal and showing such a perfunctory and hypocritical smile, a muscular young man with wheat-colored skin who was well trained in Lu Chang's group couldn't help but stepped forward with indignation and said, I thought Qinglong Jiang Chen, the first prodigy in Qinglong, was so graceful, but now I see that he is just like this, a person who is arrogant and looks down on others. Wang Hu, stop it, Lu Chang scolded. Am I wrong? He is just a person who does not live up to his reputation. The young man named Wang Hu is the most outstanding young talent of the Qinglong branch military in recent years. He has been in the army for several years, fighting against powerful enemies, and has suffered so much to get the rank of lieutenant. However, Jiang Chen can be directly promoted to captain with just a nod. He actually chose to refuse. The honor that he cherished was thrown away in front of him. This made Jiang Chen, who has always been arrogant and resentful of Jiang Chen, a genius who has made no achievements on the battlefield, feel that he was not as talented as he was. It was just that his strong discipline made him endure it before. So what if he was a genius? I, Wang Hu, don't believe in the word fate. Jiang Chen. I want to challenge you. Jiang Chen sneered, not knowing where this person got the courage from. Facing Wang Hu's provocation, Jiang Chen didn't care. Some things can't be taken lightly. Then he glanced at Cheng Dongqing, who had retreated to the side before. Cheng Dongqing understood, and immediately straightened his chest, with an expression that everyone present was trash, and squinted at Wang Hu. How dare you challenge my president? What is your strength? Don't you have any idea? Do you really don't know, or are you pretending not to know? There are many videos on the internet. What is the strength and level of our president? What can you use to fight our president? You are in your 20s, and you have the nerve to challenge our young and handsome 18-year-old president. Wang Hu's face turned red. He was originally dull and not good at speaking, and he scratched his ears and cheeks anxiously. Jiang Chen was leisurely flipping through the magazine. When Qinglong finished speaking, he said leisurely, "I'm sorry, everyone. I'm a subordinate who is always too reckless and has a bit of an aggressive tone. Please forgive me if I'm offended. By the way, Captain Lu, didn't you say there were two more things? What is the other one?" "No, it was our people who started the trouble first. If it's offensive, it's our fault. As for the next thing, yes, I'll give you the Qingwu order." Lu Chang took out a brocade box and took out a silver token from it. There was a big Wu character engraved on the front, and a map on the back. Jiang Chen looked at it carefully and found that it was a miniature version of Qingcheng. Qingwu order. Jiang Chen was a little confused. That's right, it's the Qingwu order. Its full name should be the Qingcheng High Martial Order. It is specially given to powerful warriors who are registered in Qingcheng and have upper-middle level combat power. Brother Jiang, you don't know that for every strong man, the monster defense line and the misty Great Wall are a mountain pressing on their hearts. It is a mission that every strong man needs to bear, and it is a huge responsibility. The power to decide the life and death of a city facing monsters and evils is in the hands of warriors like us who have upper-middle level combat power, at least in Qingcheng. And the Qingwu order is a symbol of status. Although Brother Jiang is only at the black iron level, according to the understanding of the senior officials of the Qingcheng army branch, your strength has long reached the level of masters comparable to bronze and even able to fight against silver. Sitting on the strongest animal fruit, possessing all 6 styles, and even mastering the legendary domineering, it is really unreasonable not to give you this token. So today, taking the opportunity of commendation, it is also convenient to bring the token to you directly. Lu Chang explained patiently. "Oh, only the registered strong men have the Qingwu order. What does that mean?" Jiang Chen played with the heavy white token in his hand, as if he was holding a heavy responsibility. Rights naturally come with obligations. Strong men who refuse to register are naturally those who do not want to contribute their own strength to this city, just like the outer city travelers who come to Qingcheng. Even if they are powerful, Qingcheng has no right to ask them to help Qingcheng resist the invasion. Having the Qingcheng order means having a superior status in Qingcheng. Not only will you have a fixed Bailey subsidy every month, but you and your family will have priority-free medical care, housing provident fund subsidies, priority in choosing schools for your children, and even extra points in the college entrance examination, and other privileges. These are just icing on the cake for the strong. There are 2 truly powerful privileges of the Qingwu order. Lu Chang paused, and his mouth was a little dry. A soldier with a keen eye immediately handed him a bottle of mineral water. After drinking a few sips, Lu Chang continued. The first privilege is that if you use violence to cause death within the urban area of Qingcheng, the supervisory department has no right to arrest you. As long as the reason is justified, it is almost equivalent to innocence. Of course, it is best not to kill people in the city. Outside the city is the real illegal area. The second privilege is the privilege of having the legal right to form private armed forces. You can form your own private force within Qingcheng. Now, all the truly powerful forces in Qingcheng are formed by strong people who have the Qingwu order. This is a world of difference from the school student organization or the so-called small groups and gangs of hooligans in society. This is the privilege of the strong who have the Qingwu order. The strong must also fulfill their obligations while enjoying their rights. The core obligation is to unconditionally defend the safety of Qingcheng when Qingcheng encounters a life-and-death crisis. Of course, this core is a bit too vague. The daily obligation is to reasonably respond to the official call of Qingcheng to fight against monsters and fog invasions and defend the front line. Of course, you can choose to refuse the call, but you must have 6 records of responding to the call within a year, otherwise, all the privileges you enjoy will be withdrawn. So, Brother Jiang Chen, are you willing to register and accept this Qingwu order? Lu Chang looked at Jiang Chen seriously. Nonsense, this is simply a surprise from heaven. Realize a great transformation of class and completely transform strength into the power of capital. Possessing the Qingwu order means that he is no longer threatened by the power of the Hao family and the Blood Wolf group. The order doesn't matter. It is our duty to sacrifice our lives for Qinglong, Jiang Chen said with a sense of justice. Ugh, Duan Wei secretly spit, you still have to be the president. This shameless spirit is a role model for us. Qing Dongqing's eyes were shining with admiration. Chapter 47. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiang Chen quickly completed a series of procedures such as registration under Lu Chang's arrangement. Thus, Qinglong has added another high-end combat force. The old principal Situ Lianqing was also grinning from ear to ear at this time. From now on, the school's reputation can be further improved. The teachers around him also congratulated Jiang Chen. After politely praising each other, everyone said goodbye and left. On the way back, Wang Hu was still full of resentment. Lu Chang patted his shoulder and comforted him. Okay, kid, I really want to learn a few tricks from others. Go back and practice hard. I heard that the best of this school trial will have the opportunity to get a place in the special training camp organized by our military. At that time, the geniuses from the outer city will come. At that time, you can challenge whoever you want. Really? Wang Hu was happy. Of course, I eavesdropped from Minister Duan's office, Lu Chang said with certainty. I just don't know if you can stand it. I'll contact Jiang Chen secretly later, just in case Wang Hu is really stubborn. Let Jiang Chen be gentle, just beat him half to death. After dealing with everyone, Jiang Chen played with the token. Good stuff, it's time for me to create my own real power. Whether it's the student union or the Liuhe gang that I seized by trickery, they are still a little bit short. The former is just a student self-governing organization under the school framework. Once graduated, it will naturally disappear, and the latter, an underground gang, can't be on the stage. Jiang Chen doesn't look down on it, but those legitimate industries are still in his eyes. It's better to integrate them himself and start over. This person is so lucky that he can get whatever he wants. Dongqing, Qingying, and others, come here. Qing Dongqing and others came over immediately after hearing Jiang Chen's order. I forgot to tell you that I recently defeated an underground organization called Liuhe Gang. You guys can go and take stock of their industries someday. There seem to be quite a few bars and entertainment centers. You can supervise them. Those industries will be ours in the future. Liuhe Gang. I seem to have heard of it. It is a small gang nearby. It is notorious and does all kinds of evil. It is very rampant. It seems to have 1,000 connections with the underground dark forces. After occupying Liuhe Gang and having ties with them, will it cause violent conflicts? Gu Qingying asked with some concern. It doesn't matter. Your goal is to cooperate with Liuhe Gang to transfer the open industries to my command. As for the members of Liuhe Gang, you don't have to worry about their lives. Jiang Chen said indifferently while playing with the token. Oh, by the way, the new leader of Liuhe Gang is quite interesting. If you can help him, help him. After hearing Jiang Chen's instructions, everyone felt confident. Jiang Chen was just sighing about his good luck when the cell phone in his pocket started to ding. Two tigers, run fast. The ringtone that made people die echoed in the room. Everyone was serious and kept silent. Haha, naughty, it must be my naughty sister who secretly changed my cell phone ringtone. Jiang Chen answered the phone awkwardly, and his sister's crying voice came from the phone. Brother, come to the hospital quickly, Dad is injured and hospitalized. What? Qinglong, Sacred Heart Hospital. The faint smell of disinfectant filled the ward. People came and went in the corridor, and nurses and doctors in white clothes worked in an orderly manner. Pushing open the ward, the sister was peeling an apple for her father Jiang Yuanchen. Seeing Jiang Chen coming, Jiang Xiaoxiao immediately rushed over. What's the matter? What's wrong with Dad? Jiang Chen stroked his sister's head and came to Jiang Yuancheng's bed. It's nothing, I just sprained my ankle while working. The doctor said I need to rest for a while. Turning over the medical records on the table beside him, the diagnosis said that the patient sprained his ankle and needed to rest. Jiang Chen's heart was relieved. Fortunately, it's not a big problem. Dad, take good care of your rest. That shift is hard and tiring, just don't go to work. Jiang Chen knew that his father worked in an ore processing factory, and it goes without saying that his father worked hard. What are you talking about? If I don't work, what should I do? I rely on you to support me. Oh, you have grown up, and now you dare to look down on my job, right? If it wasn't for my job that raised you up, you... Yes, I'm wrong, don't say it anymore. Seeing Jiang Chen start preaching, Jiang Chen quickly interrupted the spell. There were quite a few people in the ward. If he continued talking, he would really die. While chatting with his father, a middle-aged woman dressed as a nurse walked up to Jiang Chen with an indifferent look on her face. Patient number 0216, right? Hurry up and get up and make room. Your bed has been moved to the corridor. The hospital has always had a shortage of beds. The ward where Jiang's father is a 4-person room. It is quite spacious and backed by the sun. Why do you want to change? I think this place is good. Besides, I paid for the ward. How can you let me live in the corridor? Jiang's father asked the nurse in confusion. The nurse looked impatient and said, this bed has been reserved by a nobleman for a long time, but he didn't come. I let you stay there temporarily. Now it's not okay. You naturally have to move to the corridor. Hurry up and stop talking nonsense. Hey, nurse, that's not right. When I first came, the doctor said that this bed was empty. How come you said it was reserved? Are you annoying, patient? I am notifying you now, not asking for your opinion. You probably heard the doctor's slip of the tongue. Hurry up and move me. I will make the bed later. The fat middle-aged nurse was about to leave after saying this. What a joke. Such a good bed should naturally be given to those who need it more. They have collected money, so they should naturally arrange a better position for their dear patients. Looking at Jiang Chen's dress, which looked poor, the nurse curled her lips with disdain, but she saw a hand firmly blocking her. Jiang Chen said expressionlessly, I have heard of appointments in queues, but this is the first time I have heard of appointments for beds. How come your old lady, the patient you are talking about, knew that he was going to die, right? You. The middle-aged nurse was furious when someone called her an old lady and was about to curse, but she met Jiang Chen's eyes and suddenly felt a chill unconsciously. You, what do you want to do? I tell you, if you dare to hit someone, I will call the security guard. That the middle-aged nurse glared at Jiang Chen fiercely. Humph, hit you? Dirty my hands. Go arrange a single room for my dad. What a joke, who do you think you are? Your family is so poor, and you still want to live in a VIP ward? It's so funny. That the middle-aged nurse laughed so hard that she was out of breath. Jiang Chen took out the silver Qinglong order. Is this enough for you? That the middle-aged nurse was stunned, and carefully observed the white token with a serious look. Hiss, it's made of silver, why do you want to bribe me? It's too late, someone offered a higher price than you, and your token is worth some money. It's not impossible to arrange a backlit ward for you, but there will be less sunlight. Damn. It's like playing the lute to a cow. Jiang Chen slapped his head. That's right, just an ordinary citizen. How many people can see Gao Wu order? Chapter 48. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing Jiang Chen didn't say anything, the middle-aged nurse curled her lips. Why are you pretending to be so powerful? Jiang Chen also struggled to get up. Son, forget it, let's move. Jiang Chen pressed his hand to stop Jiang's father from getting up. Alas, I wanted to solve this matter in a civilized way. After saying that, he picked up the middle-aged nurse with one hand and threw her out of the ward like a chick. Get out of here, today, I'm going to reserve this position. Hey. What are you doing? Ouch, hey. The middle-aged nurse was thrown to the ground fiercely, and she screamed in pain immediately. She sat on the ground and began to wail, help. Murder. A 20-year-old boy bullied me, an old lady in her 50s, but this performance was too exaggerated. This cry attracted the attention of the entire floor. Jiang Chen stepped forward and slapped her again. This slap directly made her mouth bleed and her eyes were blurred. I'll teach you a lesson this time. If you dare to yell here again and disturb my father's rest, I'll tear your mouth apart. Jiang Chen crossed his arms, blocked the door of the ward, and spoke coldly. In the eyes of the people around him, this was undoubtedly a picture of a bully beating and oppressing a weak old nurse. Too much, is there any justice? Really, a grown man bullies an old woman, the world is going downhill, the world is going downhill. I heard from the side that the nurse was just doing routine work and asked the patient to change the bed, but his son was so vicious that he beat an old lady in her 40s or 50s without knowing the truth. He has no martial ethics. The people watching the show around him accused Jiang Chen of being domineering and violent. Jiang Xiao was so anxious that she was sweating profusely. She wanted to get out from Jiang Chen and explain to the audience, but unfortunately, she only pulled her head out from Jiang Chen's waist after a long effort. No, my brother is not a bad guy. It's obviously the nurse who is unreasonable. As expected, birds of a feather flock together. The brother is violent, and the sister next to him is also unreasonable. He is full of black and white. This kind of person is the scum of society. A termite, a passerby who thought he saw through everything was talking big with everyone, and everyone agreed with him. Jiang Chen first comforted Jiang Xiao, but brother, they scolded you, aren't you angry? Xiao wiped her tears and said with tears in her eyes. How could it be? It's just a dog barking. Xiao, everything in this world is fake, only strength is real. Xiao, go back to the ward and stay, be obedient. The next scene is destined to be inappropriate for children. After persuading Xiao to go back to the room and closing the door tightly, Jiang Chen turned and looked at the onlookers. Shut up. The roar was deafening. The whole floor seemed to be shaking. The discussion among the crowd suddenly stopped. Jiang Chen walked to the passerby. You are the one who scolded my sister. I couldn't bear to scold you, you are so brave. What's wrong? What do you want to do? If you do something wrong, you will be beaten, and you must stand at attention when you are beaten. You only know how to bully a weak woman, don't you feel ashamed, don't you feel guilty? The passerby stood with many people around him, and he bravely accused Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen was too lazy to explain the cause and effect to him. Bear with it. It will be quick. After saying that, the passerby was still thinking about the meaning of Jiang Chen's words, and kicked the passerby in the chest with great force. The passerby's chest suddenly sank, and blood spurted from his mouth and hit the white wall of the hospital heavily, staining the wall red. The man died immediately. He couldn't even say a last word. Kill. Kill. Everyone was shocked by Jiang Chen's ruthlessness, and they all moved away from Jiang Chen like a tide. Some even climbed up from their wheelchairs and struggled to return to the ward to close the door. Thug. This thug who kills people when he disagrees with someone. How dare he? Security. Call security. The floor was in chaos. A nurse secretly pressed the button to call the security department. In the chaos, Jiang Chen walked to the middle-aged nurse. The middle-aged fat woman opened her eyes like copper bells, as if she couldn't believe what had just happened, and her body trembled. Devil! You just killed people for a bed. You are not a human. You are a heinous murderer. Unexpectedly, the middle-aged nurse was rarely tough in the face of the pressure from Jiang Chen's pacing, and angrily pointed at Jiang Chen and cursed. Humph, when did I say I'm a good person? Are you trying to blackmail me? You've really picked the wrong person. I didn't want to kill you, but the passers-by who spoke up for you died, so it's a bit unreasonable for you, the person involved, not to die. Go accompany him. Jiang Chen said extremely cruel words in a calm tone. He has always been a person who follows his heart. The difference between him and those who do whatever they want is that Jiang Chen has his bottom line. He can be good or evil. He can tolerate a person without limit, and he can also burst out at any time to slaughter those who just offend him slightly. He is a chaotic neutral person who tends to be lawful. The middle-aged nurse was crying with fear, waiting for death quietly. Unexpectedly, she often walked by the river and finally got her shoes wet. She was just a little greedy. and occasionally accepted some red envelopes and bribes to arrange some benefits for rich and powerful patients. She always looked at people and served them according to their tastes. Encountered an unruly thug. Husband, son, goodbye. The middle-aged nurse looked at Jiang Chen's raised fist and closed her eyes silently, waiting for death to come. The expected blow did not come, and another gentle voice like a spring breeze appeared in the middle-aged nurse's ear. The nurse opened her eyes and saw a thin boy with a pale face, wearing a washed-out t-shirt, who was only about 18 or 19 years old, holding Jiang Chen's sandbag-sized fist tightly with one hand to prevent Jiang Chen from further attacking. "My dear, it's better to turn back. Killing is against the harmony of nature." The young man had black hair tied up like a Taoist priest, staring at Jiang Chen with a serious look. The young man's name was Fong Rong. He was originally a senior high school student and loved Taoist culture. He had just awakened his fruit ability a few days ago. Today, he suddenly heard that his sister had been hospitalized for many days and called him to visit her. Although there was a gap between him and his sister and he had always been dissatisfied with her, he immediately put down his chores and came to visit her when he heard that his sister was hospitalized. As soon as he arrived at the inpatient department of Sacred Heart Hospital, he heard a loud shout. Fong Rong, who had a sense of justice, had a bad premonition and hurried up to see the scene, and found that Jiang Chen was about to kill people. Humph! Jiang Chen's strength increased, and a powerful force directly repelled Fong Rong. So strong, Fong Rong sensed the terrifying power contained in the opposite body because of his special fruit ability. Fong Rong pretended to use the force to pull the middle-aged nurse back a few steps. The strong prey on the weak, the fittest survive. This is the law of nature. Boy, do you want to stand out? Are you not afraid of death? Jiang Chen stared at Fong Rong coldly and mercilessly, with a murderous aura all over his body. Chapter 49. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Fong Rong was tense and sweat appeared on his forehead, but he was still on guard and protected the middle-aged nurse behind him. "My dear, please forgive me when you can. I don't see any life and death hatred in your eyes. Murder? Do you need a reason?" Jiang Chen tilted his head and asked back. "You." Fong Rong was speechless for a while. It was bad. He met a real criminal. Gritting his teeth, Fong Rong knew that he might even lose his life in the next fierce battle. As they were facing each other, a team of well-equipped security personnel quickly surrounded the place not far away, and even the dean of Sacred Heart Hospital rushed over. "Stop the thugs in front immediately." Several security personnel looked at the patient's body next to the wall and pointed their guns at Jiang Chen. "Saved. Saved." Two consecutive sighs came from the middle-aged nurse and Fong Rong respectively. Go Dongxi, the director of the Sacred Heart Hospital with a Mediterranean hairstyle, came to the dead passerby and shook his head after checking, and then asked someone to collect the body. He turned around and pointed at Jiang Chen with a headache. "I am Go Dongxi, the director of the Sacred Heart Hospital." "Who are you? How dare you make trouble in the Sacred Heart Hospital? And you are so vicious." In Jiang Chen's perception, he clearly felt that there was a hint of imperceptible joy hidden in the seemingly compassionate expression of this director. Of course, Jiang Chen didn't care about their conspiracy. "Who am I?" Jiang Chen calmly took out a coin and threw it into the air. With a parabola falling back, the coin returned to Jiang Chen's hand. Jiang Chen flipped it with one hand, and in the blink of an eye, the coin was replaced with a silver-white token. It was the Qinglong order. Director Go's eyes condensed, and then he suddenly realized for a long time and reluctantly asked people to put down their weapons. Why? He killed someone, why not arrest him? Fong Rong looked at the magical scene in front of him, his face full of disbelief. He is a warrior with the Qinglong order. Naturally, there will be someone to hold him accountable for this matter. The dean just said lightly that in this era, the strong are respected. In the final analysis, the Qinglong order is just a symbol of status, although he can be exempted from legal accountability, that's all. If he is not strong enough and is killed by others, he can't blame anyone. Can the dean take action against him? Of course, but it's unnecessary. for this unknown warrior who is ruthless. As the saying goes, the barefoot are not afraid of the shoes, and the dingo, who has a big family and a big business, doesn't want to cause any more trouble. Jiang Chen told the story, pointing to the middle-aged nurse and said, "This person is stirring up trouble and dares to insult my family. If your hospital doesn't give me a reasonable explanation, don't blame me for being rude." In the backlit darkness, Jiang Chen said in a cold tone. The middle-aged nurse did not expect that the boy would be a powerful warrior. She felt that she was in big trouble and was terrified. Dingo frowned, and then said, "Of course, don't worry, your family will be transferred to our VIP ward to enjoy good medical services. As for this nurse, I'm afraid you are wrong. This is a temporary worker in our hospital. She is not familiar with the operating procedures of Sacred Heart Hospital. She will be expelled immediately. Okay, I'll leave you a dog's life." Jiang Chen looked at the middle-aged nurse with a grin. The middle-aged nurse stared in disbelief, and her back was cold. Dingo's eyes implied a warning, as if there was some unavoidable reason. The middle-aged nurse lowered her head and did not refute. Hey. Are you sure? This person is a murderer." No one answered Fang Rong's question. The security personnel gradually dispersed, and Dingo and Jiang Chen decided a person's fate in a casual manner. Fang Rong felt his worldview collapse. This world is probably sick. The strong can do whatever they want, but are there no place for the weak? Fang Rong clenched his fists, his thin body stood straight, and watched the hospital director and Jiang Chen leave with a face full of unwillingness. In this world, the weak can only obey the rules. Passing by Fang Rong, Jiang Chen casually said this. Fang Rong looked up and seemed to see a hint of mockery at the corner of Jiang Chen's mouth. At this time, even the crowd who had been watching before had already dispersed, as if they were afraid of getting into trouble. While chatting with Dingo about changing his father's ward, Jiang Chen turned his head and glanced at Fang Rong. The straight and lonely back seemed to be out of tune with the surroundings. What an idealist! Jiang Chen whispered softly. Fang Rong followed the door number in a daze and came to his sister's ward. He rubbed his face and tried to control his expression, returning to the confident yet cold young man who kept people at a distance. Open the door, and on the bed not far away, there lies a slim, fair-skinned, bright-eyed woman. The woman tilted her head quietly, looking at the bright sunlight outside the window, a little absent-minded, wearing a plain white hospital gown, without any. Next to the window, a bunch of bright yellow daisies were quietly placed in a vase, as if they had not been taken care of for a long time and had already withered. "Fang Rong, you are here. Have you eaten? Is the living allowance enough?" The woman turned her head and found that it was Fang Rong's quiet face with a surprised smile. Fang Rong looked cold and ignored the woman's concern. "What happened? Why are you hospitalized all of a sudden?" The woman pursed her lips and said nothing. "It's just a little mistake at work." "It's that job again. Didn't you promise me that you would not accompany that scumbag Su Luo anymore? You've fallen into depravity." "Fang Rong, this time, I really won't accompany Su Luo. In life, if we can make our lives better, giving up some dignity is nothing." The woman smiled bitterly. Her parents died early, and she and her younger brother depended on each other since she was a child. If she didn't have an outstanding appearance at such a young age, how could she support herself and her younger brother? Being pointed at by outsiders is fine, but now even her own brother looks down on her. The woman's eyes suddenly turned red. Never mind, she just wanted to see her brother for the last time. "Fang Rong, sister, I will go on a long trip in a while, and I may not see you for a long time." The woman took out a thick envelope from under the pillow. "This is some of my savings accumulated over the years. You can use it, spend it sparingly, it should be able to make your life good." Without waiting for the woman to hand over the envelope, Fang Rong slapped the envelope away. As the envelope broke, several bank cards fell to the ground with a sky full of banknotes. "I don't want your dirty money. You think you can do whatever you want with money. You think you can get respect from others with money. Do you know what people say about you behind your back? You are shameless, but I still have face." Fang Rong shouted angrily, pushed open the door and disappeared. The woman was so anxious that she wanted to call him, but suddenly her face froze, and she hurriedly took out a tissue from under the bed sheet. With a violent cough, a large amount of blood came out of her mouth. Under the seemingly white bed sheet, there were already a lot of bright red tissues. She was afraid that her brother Fang Rong would find out, so she deliberately covered it up. Her body had suffered a huge impact not long ago, and her organs were almost failing. She had been riddled with holes, and she knew that she would not live long. Tomorrow or an accident, who knows which will come first. The woman laughed at herself. Maybe this is retribution. Just going to accompany the Liuhe gang for a drink, a sudden disaster, can end her life. Brother, I hope you can live forever innocently and happily. Chapter 50. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the evening, Fang Rong, with lifeless eyes, threw 2 baileys and wandered aimlessly in the city on the bus, watching the bustling crowds rushing for various purposes. Their expressions were either happy or sad, and their lives were fulfilling and stable. Fang Rong just felt lonely. Hidden under this seemingly civilized city is a naked cannibalistic rule. This rule forcibly distorts people's will and forces them to do things they don't want to do. Fang Rong suddenly felt a chill on his back. He was afraid that there would be more people like his sister who were forced into prostitution. He was afraid that honest people would be forced to lie, he was afraid that upright people would be forced to bend, and he was afraid that idealists like him would see their ideals shattered. Hey! Boy, this is the terminal, you should get off the bus. The driver on the bus turned his head with a cigarette in his mouth and looked at the strange boy. After getting off the bus, Fang Rong, far away from the bustling city, continued to walk along the nearby mountain path, and finally stopped in front of a Taoist temple full of ancient charm according to his memory. On the red sandalwood plaque, the 3 characters Ji Shou Guan stood quietly, stepping into it. An old man in Taoist robes was trimming flowers and plants. The layman is here again. Young men should be dressed in fine clothes and riding horses. Do you have any troubles today? Why not talk to me? The kind-looking old man saw Fang Rong's absent-minded look and pointed to the cushion beside him to ask him to sit down. The old man was the master of Ji Shou Guan. Whenever Fang Rong was depressed, he would unconsciously come here to talk with the old man to ask for answers. Sitting cross-legged, Fang Rong told the story of his sister and the cause and effect of the conflict with Jiang Chen today. The old man smiled but did not say a word, listening quietly to the young man's confession. Master, are the lives of those strong and talented people just lives, and the lives of those ordinary people just like grass? Are they born to be oppressed and humiliated? What happened to this era? Fang Rong was depressed and spoke out the doubts buried in his heart. Layman, you are possessed by demons. Are you cynical or self-pitying? The rules of this world will never be changed by personal will. It is the will of all living beings that created the current rules. You want to change it? Layman, only the strong are qualified to guide the direction of the times. Are you a strong person? I. Fang Rong bowed his head and said nothing. The master stroked his beard and smiled, his tone gentle but merciless. You want to change the cannibalistic rules. Is it based on your sympathy for the common people, or is it just because you are not the one sitting at the table? The words of the master were heartbreaking. Fang Rong's face turned pale. As if he was misunderstood, he hurriedly explained, of course, I am not doing it for my own selfish desires. Every strong man said this when he rose from obscurity. Fang Rong shook his head, I am different from them. I am just an ordinary person, but my heart is warm, and it has always been. I just want to make the world more fair, that's all. Good people can still be good, and everyone can stand up straight. The way of the Great Way is that the world is for the public, so that the old have a place to live, the strong have a place to use, and the young have a place to grow. Why can't this world accommodate such a simple idea? Fang Rong looked at the old man with tears in his eyes. The old man was stunned as if his heart was tugged hard. For a moment, he felt guilty for his own questioning of him like a villain. Is this the heart of a child? The old man was secretly moved. He could feel Fang Rong's heart, a fiery and sincere heart. It was a true pure heart. If it weren't for too many distractions and being trapped by the confusion of the world, it would be like a pearl covered with dust. If the dust is wiped off, the practice will surely advance by leaps and bounds in the future. He sighed secretly and developed a love for talent. Layman. If you want to change the times, you need to change yourself. In the world, personal destiny is never insignificant. In this world, only the strong can implement themselves, while the weak can only obey. Implement your own will in this era. You must know that you should regard the doubts of others as ghost lights, and you should boldly walk your own night road. The world is in decline. If you want to save the world, why bother about other people's opinions? The sound of the big bell was like a wake-up call, which shocked Fang Rong. Master. I understand. Fang Rong bowed to the old man. Thank you for clearing my doubts. If not, I'm afraid I'd still be in prison without knowing it. That the old man stroked his beard and laughed. As the saying goes, the master leads you to the door, but the practice depends on yourself. The fundamental reason why you can jump out of confusion is that you have something in your heart. After bidding farewell to the master, Fang Rong felt refreshed. He felt like a bird in a cage and a fish in a net. This time he knew to keep the temple, flying like a bird in the sky, a fish in the sea, no longer bound. He couldn't wait to go back to see his sister. He wanted to admit his mistakes to her. Over the years, because of prejudice and the opinions of outsiders, he had never looked at his sister straight in the eye, but forgot her efforts for him. I'm sorry, sister, please let me support this family this time. Ding ding ding. A mobile phone rang, and Fang Rong, who was running down the mountain, stopped and took out his phone. It was an unfamiliar number. Hello, is this Fang Qian's brother Fang Rong? I am her landlord and her good friend. A low and sad female voice came from the phone. Yes, I am. Fang Rong's heart kept beating, and the unknown intuition made his heart a little uneasy. The person on the other end of the phone paused for a long time, seemed a little hesitant, and then seemed to make up his mind to speak again. Although it's against her will, as Fang Qian's only relative in this world, I think you shouldn't stay out of it. Your sister passed away. The phone fell to the ground, and Fang Rong stood there at a loss. He rushed to Sacred Heart Hospital without hesitation and pushed open the door of the ward. The closer Fang Rong got to his sister's bed, the more his heart beat wildly. Until the last moment, he didn't dare to believe it. In front of the bed, there stood a woman with red eyes. When she saw Fang Rong, she said, "Are you Fang Rong?" Fang Rong had heard it before. This was the voice of the landlord on the phone. Fang Rong nodded woodenly, and the woman took out a broken but glued envelope and handed it to him. This is what your sister asked me to pass on to you. Looking at the envelope in his hand, Fang Rong remembered that it was the envelope he had broken before, but this time, Fang Rong received it very carefully. Lifting the white cloth, Fang Qian lay peacefully on the bed, as if she was just sleeping. Fang Rong had no expression on his face, and his heart suddenly seemed to be neither happy nor sad. All emotion seemed to disappear completely. It seemed that at this moment his heartbeat suddenly became calm, even though it was beating so hard before. Fang Rong just looked at Fang Qian's face quietly for a long time without saying a word. Knowing that Fang Rong was in grief, the woman turned around and prepared to leave Fang Rong alone to say goodbye quietly. Wait a minute, sister, can you tell me, what happened? Fang Rong's tone was as calm as water, mixed with a slight tremor. He didn't understand. His sister, who was still smiling sweetly a few hours ago, how could she suddenly die? Obviously didn't she say it was just a minor injury?